Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Yashodanandana Jaya Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yamuna Tira Vardhari Yamuna Tira Vardhari Yamuna Tira Vardhari Radha Madhava Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Yashodanandana Braja Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Amunatira 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya, Jaya, Gurudev, Jaya, Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya, Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our final day of Krishna Katha. We are celebrating Sri Krishna Janmashtami. So to begin, to glorify Lord Sri Krishna, we need the mercy of our spiritual master and Vaishnavas and Brajavasis, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please join together to invoke the mercy of Guru Krishna. Bande aham Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Am Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanita Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sundavadi Aschat Deshatarine Panchakalpataruvescha Kripa Sindhubhayevacham Patitanam Pavunebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Thank you. At least you came on. Hare Krishna. So today We are not going to go in details, but beginning with Sri Krishna Janmashtami, so I made a few questions in the beginning. Who is Krishna? In order to celebrate, we need to know the personality. So, few collection from Srila Prabhupada's, our Guru Varga's lectures and the reference Shastra. First thing is 1427 Bhagavad Gita in the purport Prabhupada writes, Rasha Vaishaha Rasham hi ayam labdha anundi bhavati. Everyone in this world looking for happiness. They are looking for pleasure. And Krishna is the embodiment of all those pleasure, whether they get directly or indirectly. Everything coming from him. So if they are looking for pure pleasure without interruption, they need to recognize Krishna and serve him. So this verse explains this. Then Bhagavatam explains a beautiful verse. Ete chang sakala pungsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vekulam Lokam Riyayanti Yuge Yuge. And Srila Prabhupada translate, this is in 1st Canto, 3rd chapter, 28 verse. This is a Parubhashya Sutra, means the entire book is illuminated because of this one verse. That Lord Sri Krishna, who has an unlimited incarnation, and all appears because of him. He is a avatari. Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appears on planet whenever, wherever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist. So if you are looking for pleasure or if you are looking for protection, you must approach Krishna for eternity, not temporary. Temporary you can call 911 or something, or your doctor or something, but they cannot solve ultimate purpose. Then another verse is also very beautiful in Bhagavad Gita 7.7. It's also Krishna himself declaring who he is. Matta paratara nanna kinchit asti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam prokta sutre mani ganaiva. The Lord Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself claims, there is no superior protector than me. There is no supreme controller than me. I am the ultimate supreme controller. Everything rests on me. Anybody approach any God, anywhere in the world, they are approaching Krishna, maybe indirect way. So we are promoting that you get direct connection and you can live eternally with him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also explained who Krishna is. He says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sarvakarshan Sarvaladaka Maharasayan Apanar Bale Kare Sarva Ishmaran. Lord Krishna is so exalted. How exalted? That he is more attractive than anything else. Did you ever fall in love or you wanted to look at something again? It's so beautiful. The first thing in our life, every day, whatever is more beautiful attracts quicker than anything. When you search and come to the conclusion that nobody or nothing is more beautiful than that object, that substance, that is God, that is Krishna. That is Krishna. When you come to a point that you cannot live without looking at that person or that things or that substance to the highest degree all the time, that is Krishna. So Mahaprabhu elaborate who Krishna is. He said he is so exalted that he is more attractive than anything else or anyone else, more pleasing than anyone else or anything else. He is the most sublime abode by bliss. Just like you have a friend and you want to be with that friend because that friend cares for you and you care for that friend. But when you are hungry and that friend does not have any food, you really know not looking for the friend anymore. You are looking for food. And if you are tired, when you are so tired that you don't care for your friend, you just want to go to sleep. But Krishna is not that kind of friend. Krishna is a friend that you forget eating, sleeping, or looking anything, because his presence satisfy and fulfill your hunger, thirst, tiredness, everything. This is Mahaprabhu's explanation. Sarva Karshan, Sarva Alladak, Maharasayan. What a beautiful explanation Mahaprabhu gave. That he is pleasing more than anyone and anything. He is the most sublime abode of bliss. Just imagine if you have one friend that you're not looking for anything else, your search for anything is over because he's so complete. That is Krishna. He causes one to forget all other ecstasy. All the experience you had, whether it's a sex or watching movie or a war or Disney, whatever attraction you have, when you forget everything by seeing that person, that connection, that is Krishna, Mahaprabhu says. And by his presence, he empowers you, make you so strong that you lose all the fear of this whole creation. So this is a little glimpse who Krishna is. Now question is, today is his appearance day, birthday. Well, did he appear or he took birth? Both. One place he appeared, one place he took birth. So what do you want? You want Krishna to take birth in your heart, or you want Krishna to appear in your heart? That question we have. Also, why do we celebrate Janmashtami? Why do we celebrate his birthday or appearance day? So let's talk a few minutes for that. First of all, in 11th canto Bhagavatam, Krishna himself said, oh, you should celebrate. You want to know how I'll be pleased? Krishna says, if you want to please me, you should celebrate my birthday. So why do we celebrate Krishna's birthday? Why it pleases Krishna? Krishna says, you want to please me? Celebrate my birthday. You know, birthday party in America is like, oh my God, such a crutch. Like, you know, they feel like if you don't come to their birthday party, your friend, they feel like, I can't believe on my birthday that friend didn't call me. And I did a mistake one time. I won't say for who, but I forgot about that person's birthday. Oh my God, that person was holding it for a month. She can't forgive me that I didn't call. But I grew up in a village where birthday was not celebrated for individual person. It was celebrated for a glorious, great acharyas or big personalities. Even some Mayavadi big personalities, I remember in my village, they used to celebrate for their birthday. Not individual birthday so much, but in America, individual birthday is there. And Janmashtami, Krishna claims in 11th canto, he said, you celebrate my birthday, then you will please me. This is very nice. Srila Prabhupada also writes in the introduction of Bhagavatam that this Janmashtami festival is very pleasing to the ear and the heart of the devotee. Why? Because glorification of Lord Krishna's pastime is very pleasing to the ear and heart of the devotees. It is simultaneously a subject and object. This is Prabhupada's own opinion. Prabhupada also says in 10.8.21 in Bhagavatam, he says, today is the birthday, Janmashtami. Actually, we celebrate this birthday of Krishna to glorify the Brajabashis. Why? Because there is a famous verse. Shruti mapare smiti mitare Artam anne bhajantu bhavavita. Ahamiha nandam bande jasse linde parama. Let other fear material existence, they may worship God. Somebody wants something, they go to God. Somebody need to know more, they approach God. Whatever reason, we have to, from the side you can, from the side you can, no, the other side. So, whatever reason people comes to God, and ultimately they have to know God and they have to learn about God, and you need to study and hear so much. So this Brahmana says, he quoted this verse, he said, I don't care any of this, I'm going to run to Nanda Maharaj's courtyard. Why? Because ultimate object is Nanda Maharaj's son. He's playing in the courtyard of Nanda Baba. So he ran and ran and ran. He didn't even think it is a Kali Yuga or Satya Yuga or Dwapara Yuga, what time it is, did God is still playing there or not. He didn't consider anything. He just ran and ran and ran, and he finally arrived there after thousands and thousands of miles, running. If that kind of desire is there, it actually appeared there, and the whole Brajadham manifested for him. And he met that Lord right there in the courtyard. So this is why we celebrate this Janmashtami, to know. How should we celebrate? If somebody may ask this question. So I asked that question, and I found few answers, but at least basic answer. Madhavati thi bhakti janani jatane palana kori Krishna basati bali parama adare bari. Like a lover, always attentive and careful about the desire of the beloved. Never mixes his or her own desire. This is the true process to celebrate. You have to know the desire of the person's birthday you want to celebrate. If you want to celebrate a person's birthday, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, mom, dad, or anybody. Similarly, when you want to celebrate a birthday party or birthday for Supreme Lord, you must know the desire, what he likes. They said this holiday, Janmashtami, is a very special day for Lord Krishna. He likes it when you celebrate this. And Vaishnava likes it. You want mercy of the Guru and Vaishnava? Celebrate Janmashtami. You want mercy of God? Celebrate Janmashtami. You want a mercy of all the saints and angels of the whole creation? Celebrate Janmashtami. You want to resolve all your problem in life just one day? Yes, celebrate. So the holidays, why? Because this birthday, Krishna is side. He hears every prayers. Even I'm trying to pray, I'm not qualified, but I'm just little endeavor, looking for the mercy of Vaishnavas, Prabhupads. So you all are helping to see if I can be eligible, so you can pray for me and bless me. So this way I can also, but we have to endeavor. To advance, we have to endeavor. So celebrating Janmashtami is just to know what Krishna likes and offer that things to him. Then you are perfectly situated. If we can offer what Krishna likes on his birthday, then you are doing wonderful. It makes sense. If one devotee want to celebrate birthday party of another devotee, and if you don't know what that devotee likes, how are you going to celebrate? And if you know that devotee, what he likes, and you buy a gift, oh, he likes Rasgulla, and you buy, just an example, and you give them, you bring some nice Rasgulla. You know, even Lord Jagannath was asked by Uddhava that, my Lord, Lakshmi Devi is upset and you have to please her. And then Jagannath says, okay, yes, I'm ready. But do you know what she likes? Oh, well, So Lord started thinking what she likes. I didn't think very deeply. So the commentary given that we should think who you like. If you love your spouse or whoever like, you must know what that person likes. So then Jagannath says, oh yes, she likes Rasgulla. So immediately Balaram and everybody made thousands of different types of Rasgulla and offered to Lakshmi Devi. And guess what happened? Lakshmi Devi was angry with sulkiness, not angry, but sulkiness. You know, every wife has that or husband has that. So she gave up because Jagannath knew what she likes. Similarly, we have to learn what Krishna likes. On his birthday, offer that things, then Krishna will be happy. It makes sense. Now, we learn few things, that how to celebrate Janmashtami, why we celebrate Janmashtami, and whose birthday we are celebrating Krishna. We asked that question, we answered. Now question is, what is the result you're going to get by celebrating? Now, Srila Prabhupada writes in 12.6.7 in Bhagavad Gita, he writes, the Supreme Lord can be appreciated only by devotional service. And when you celebrate Janmashtami, he said, one will be able to fix his mind in order to achieve him. So sweet. And then Prabhupada also says in 1.6.33, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of the heart. That's very sweet. By pleasing the Lord, a devotee can achieve the impossible. Things become possible. And of course, the famous verse you all know. Janma karma chame dibbam evam javeti tattataha ekta deham punarjanma mameti sarjuna. One who knows my birthday, my birth, and my activities are divine. Divine means they are not like a mundane world activity, but it appears like, but it is all dibbam, transcendental. So then he says, yes, if you celebrate my birthday, if you know my birthday, if you understand what is this divine birthday, then you will never take birth anymore. What will happen to you? You will come to me, Krishna says. Isn't it so sweet? So these are the result. Some I just piled up this morning to think what we should discuss. So then next question comes, why does Lord Krishna take birth? Well, there are few reasons. One thing is to deliver the devotees and vanquish the demon. That famous verse. Almost every person who knows Bhagavad Gita, they recite those verses. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya chatuskritam dharma samsthapanakaya sambhavami juge juge. So these are the reasons given. That to deliver the devotees and vanquish the demon. The Lord especially descend to appease his unalloyed devotee, who are always harassed by the demoniac. But then Prabhupada also asked a question one time, the morning walk. Devotees does not need the protection of, they don't pray for protection because they are already protected. When someone is a devotee, Krishna always protects. He never, ever forget to protect the devotees. But of course, we have to understand what he protects. He's not protecting your material assets unless it is required to serve. He protected your spiritual body, spiritual consciousness, your realization, your achievement. Naha vikramana ashasti pratyavayo na vidyate. Salpam api yasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. What is protecting? That your spirit to serve him, your desire to serve him, he is completely protecting. It will never be lost. And the amount of service you did, it's never lost. Everything you did for him, it's always protected. But your sense gratification may not be. Your material body may not be. It has its own time. As long as it has its time, it will expire. And if Krishna has a plan to utilize your body for further, then he will keep it, probably prolong it. But we have to understand what he protects. Sometimes as a devotee, we misunderstand sometimes. We think like, if we become devotee, means you never, this body never dies. Well, Dhruva Maharaj's case, it happens, but Dhruva Maharaj's case, it did not happen just like this. He did a severe austerity to purify the body. The body consciousness transformed completely to transcendental. In that case, whether you have a material body or not, you are not even aware, because you are so much absorbed in service. So, Srila Prabhupada writes that Lord Krishna advanced to teach us the lesson that you are immortal by nature. As a spirit soul, you are part and parcel of me. I am as immortal, I'll make you immortal too, Krishna says. So more we become Krishna consciousness, we'll become just like Krishna. We'll never die. We are eternally live happily with him, with service. Of course, Lord Krishna also is very compassionate God. He quoted those verses. Chirakala nahi kari prema bhakti dan, bhakti bina jagater nahi avasthan. He said, what is the value of this world? There is no value of this world if there is no good love feeling amongst the living being. If they do not have a loved and offering love feeling. We want to feel loved and we want to offer love. So this verse, Krishna is explaining that people are not, maybe they're trying for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, or 50 years, then they run out. So to have always feel loved and to offer love, these two functions, Krishna says, there is no value. We must have these two. So then he says, in order to establish this, I'll go to the material world and I'll establish through my devotional process, establishing bhakti. So in order to do this, because of the time, I'm going to explain this very systematic. There are two places. One place is Mathura, one place is Vrindavan. In Mathura, he appeared, he did not take birth. But in Vrindavan, he took birth. There is a difference, and we're going to, I'll explain a little bit about, we'll try to explain a little bit about this. See, in Vrindavan, he took birth in a sense, he reciprocated relationship. So boils down to what we have relationship with the Lord. In this world, we know love is our innermost longing. Love is our innermost longing. And Lord Krishna, through Rupa Goswami, declared that our longing for love is best fulfilled when we learn to love this Brajendra Nandan Krishna. So this is very, very important point that we should understand, that how our love should be directed towards that. How can we do that? Well, let's see a few things. First of all, when we talk about in America, concept of God, we talk about so many people has so many ideas, so many churches, synagogue, temples, so many theistic parts of the world. but that conception is usually quite vague. What to talk about those are connected with God? Now, we Hare Krishna people traditionally give full-fledged about Krishna, God, absolute truth, his speciality, his associates, his abode, his paraphernalia, what he does. This is our main. Gauriya Vaishnava, we are called Gauriya Vaishnava or Hare Krishna people. Generally, God defined as one absolute who is constituted with divinity. This is very important. Radha Krishna eche sada eki sarup lilaros asadite dhare dui rup. Means we, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this philosophy that ultimately the absolute truth who is constituted with divinity of masculine and feminine together. Radha Krishna. Of course, it is not material, man and woman, not like that. Revelation of God is understood by Krishna conscious philosophy as inclusive, not just one masculine feature, but masculine and feminine together as one absolute. One friend of mine, Guru Krishna's mother, told him, why you all believe in God as a man, Krishna? Why not female? So I remember he asked that question, so we discussed. So no. There is the verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila. Radha Krishna Iche Sada Eki Swarup, one absolute truth. Is constituted with divinity of masculine and feminine together. So it is not that we worship man or masculine God. No, it's both. But if you go to other tradition like Ramanuja Sampradaya, I remember it's in the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Brahman and Vaishnava book has this, that there is a two group. One believes that the Lakshmi Devi is a Jiva Tattva, that Jiva can become also Lakshmi. And the other group says, no, this is the internal potency. Jiva, living entity can never become like this. So to understand that, God has consort who is also God. And this is difficult. Even in the some other philosophy in India, even in the West, because in Hinduism, in India, mostly in Hinduism, it explains about polytheistic, where they accept many gods. Why one? But one question rises about supremes. When that question comes, and they don't know. Actually, even in America, I noticed that I was talking to another person, my neighbor, other day, and he said, "It's good. It's good. You have your faith. I have my faith. We have to respect each other, believe, and we should have a strong boundary wall. Boundary. What do you call fence? Brahmatirtha Prabhu said, "Good fence makes a good neighbor." Means if you respect the other person's God, so they will respect your God. But that's not what Krishna conscious philosophy is. There is only one God, not two God or three God. Ekala Ishwar Krishna ar sab vritta. Jare jo iche na chahe to iche kare nitya. So when we talk about God, it's one God, but constituted. One God constituted with a divinity of masculine and feminine. Two form, Radha, Krishna. Two, masculine and feminine. Together is one. And that one God, masculine and feminine, is also polytheistic in a sense. They manifest unlimited. Krishna takes the form of Ram, Radharani takes the form of Sita Devi. Krishna takes the form of Narayan, Radharani takes the form of Lakshmi. Like this, they have unlimited form. So polytheistic idea also there. In our tradition, one absolute truth has a dual manifestation. That's the question. So to understand that God has a consort who is also God, this is maybe difficult to the non-devotees idea, but as a devotee, we easily grasp it. Where we accept many gods also, because Radha Krishna expand, and Supreme has to be one and it builds others. To understand thoroughly in this Krishna conscious philosophy about polytheistic, monotheistic as inadequate. Yes, we accept only one God, but it is not monotheistic idea. Because in monotheistic idea, if you really research, I was checking the Bible. In Bible, the God says, I created the heaven and earth. Means he existed before and he created now heaven and earth. But who is that God? When you ask a priest or minister, what is the name of the queen of your king? God. God is the king. God is the father. What was the name of the mother or the queen? They don't know. There is no such explanation. So, when we say we accept one God, it is not monotheistic idea that there is only one God. We have to say polymorphic monotheism, means one absolute truth who also has unlimited form. And Brahma Samhita explains, Advaitam Achyuta Anadi Anantarupam Aidam Purana Purusham Navajovanancha Vede Sudurlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, in that verse, it says that this it is not just one God, it is a divine couple, and not only divine couple, it is polymorphic monotheism, is not only one absolute truth, has a two dual part, it is polymorphic bimonotheism. Bimonotheism means these two manifestations, many forms. The Vedic explanation of God is very profound and often includes other ideas with a pure explanation. In all religion, the activity of God may be mentioned, but as far as the concept of pastimes, lila, they are rarely ever explained or revealed. This is very important. This is very important. Because to understand, Lord Krishna says, Janma Karma, not only his birthday party that we are celebrating, Krishna says also karma, his activities. In the past time, the absolute controller, the conception that we believe, a follower of Brajavasi, that absolute controller does not act as a controller, rather act as an actor. Remember, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu very nicely explained that. In his lecture, he says that the Lord acts as another member of the community. One Acharya quote this as a Lokik Sat Bandhubat. Lokik Sat Bandhubat. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave a very nice explanation. Lokik Sat Bandhubat means Krishna in Vrindavan, he acts as another member of the community. Generally in this world, I see in the Western world especially, God is judge also, he is a crutch. Crutch means like you need emotional support. Oh, my mother is so sick. Let's go to God and pray. Oh God, please cure my mother. Oh God, please. That's nothing wrong. It's okay. But you are using God as a crutch. You're not going to God to serve him, to surrender him. No, that idea is not there. You know, crutch, like when you depend, emotional dependence. So they use God as a, emotional crutch. Or they say, you better act as a good person, otherwise you'll go to hell or you go to heaven. Otherwise, if you do good, you'll go to heaven. Well, in our conception here, it's very high. In what degree high? That God is not a judge or a crutch. He is a Rasharaj, Braja Rasharaj. And he is a very wonderful. So Bishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes, he acts as another member of the community. Lokik Sadbandhuba. And the mood is intensification for affection. So God is supreme, but his supreme will, his awareness of his supreme, as he is concealed, not just from his associate, but also from himself. Prabhupada writes one time that he became so absorbed, the God became so absorbed that he actually believes he's a son of Nanda Maharaj. And he believes he's a son of Mother Yashoda. He forgot that he is supreme absolute truth. Not that he lost, it's never lost. He is eternally in a default position, but he is eager to give up his godhood for what? For love. For love. He wants to give that love to anybody and everybody who comes to him, because he is the embodiment of preserver of mellows, pleasure, happiness, anandamaya bhasha. Anandamatra karapad udara adi sagata savedo vivarjitatma nirdisha guna vigraha atmatantra nishcheta ganashchahina. These are the verses explained. The anandam atra karapad udaradi. His stomach, his fingernail, his eyebrows, his eye is all manifestation of happiness. When you see a beautiful eye of a girl or a boy, so beautiful, long lotus, you want to look. Well, when we look at Krishna's eye, you never want to look another eye because it's so attractive. When you look at Krishna's cheek, when you look at Krishna's eyebrow, you forget everything else. You are stuck. It's so attractive. So Krishna explained that he acts as an actor in Vrindavan, means he enters into the role of a character in such a deep way as is depicted. After that, the actor feels, I am the particular character. That's who I am. I was reading many years back about Sanatana Goswami Pad's beautiful explanation on Dasami Tippani, where Sripad Radha Govinda Maharaj inspired me many years back, 20 years back, he inspired me to read, or maybe 15 years back. There, Krishna says sometime, he is so absorbed in this loving exchange. He said, who am I? Why I am so much in love with all these ladies who are married? Look at my mother. She is the #1 chaste. Her name is Yashoda. Means she is always making others famous. Anybody has any contact with Yashoda, just say Yashoda 3 times. Yashoda Maiya ki jai, Yashoda Maiya ki jai, Yashoda Maiya ki jai. Now you'll become famous. This is Mother Yashoda. She's so merciful. And her son, Yashoda Nandan, is so famous, but Yashoda Nandan thinking, oh my God, why I'm not so good as like my mother? This is he genuinely feels. And he is so obliged and he's so affectionate to mother. Mother say, what happened? What's going on? He said, I love you, Mom. And Mother Yashoda embrace and hug him. And Krishna also say, oh, she's such a sweet mother. This loving exchange bonds so tightly, so together, is unbelievable. Wait, we have only 10 minutes. I better tell the birth story, right? So I'm going to tell you the birth story, but I have to tell you some philosophy on this because this is how we relate, relevant to us. So there's a two birth story. One is not birth story, is the appearance story. The supreme God, absolute truth, appeared in Mathura jail. God appears in the jail. This is fascinating. You know, you can draw so many words out of it. How God appears in the jail. First of all, the wedding day of his mother, Devaki, who married to a wonderful king named Anokodundubi. Anokodundubi, you know, in the Vedic wedding, I hope the listener can understand in the Facebook. In the Zoom is not too many, but I think they're mostly all devotee name I see. In the Facebook, in the Vedic culture, we don't have a dating system. We have a arrangement, but it's a scientific arrangement, not just arrangement by dictators. No, arrangement means by seeing their chart that they can live happily each other, dependence, and they will share and love each other forever, like this. And so they arrange Devaki and Vasudev, and Anokodundubi, in the wedding day, they put a veil on top of the groom and the bride, so the audience does not see their eye-to-eye union before the wedding finish. So they look each other and they spend little time. So when first time in their life, they looking each other and they love so much each other. But then Anokodundubi, her husband, says, "You know my name is Anokodundubi. Of course I heard your name is Devaki. My name is Anokodundubi because when I was born, immediately there was a beautiful sweet music and sound in the celestial world, and they played kettle drum and auspicious symbol all over the sky. And my mother was so scared. What is going on outside?" And all the relative and friend, they said, "Come, come, the demigods, what's going on?" Pushpa Brishti, the shower of flowers from the sky, you know, rain of flowers. You know why? My mother told me that there was a rumble sound. They said, "This man going to be," well, I really don't sound like a rumble because I have a really crow voice, but it was sweeter, but it was very loud. The whole earth was filled with that sound. Said, "This man will be the father of the supreme personality of Godhead." Everybody said, "What? This child will become the father of God? Whoa!" So they celebrated every day. They would come and look at me. They would say, "Wow, this boy is going to be the father. You know what is that means? I'm marrying you. You will become the mother." Can you imagine the first meeting of your spouse? You're going to live whole life and you tell her that you're going to be the mother of the God, Supreme God. So Devaki was so happy and their wedding was such a joyful. I'm not going to narrate the whole wedding because it takes an hour, but at the end, it affected even her demoniac brother. The wedding was so good. The brother felt emotionally inclined. He said, "Can I give you ride? I want to be charioteer." Generally, Kshatriya, the upper class, don't come a charioteer in Vedic culture. Charioteer is like a Sudra, labor class. And the ruler is like a very high class. But he said, "I love my sister and new brother-in-law so much. I want to give a ride. I just feel so emotional, attached to you all. I love you both." Of course, you know the pastime, that how he started taking them to their newly home with a flower bed, flower house. You know, it's called Pushpa Sajja, you know, Bashar. Pushpa Bashar means the husband and wife will meet first time and they will lie down together on a flower bed. So Vasudev and Anokodundubi and Vasudev, I mean, his name is also Vasudev. But they are going to stay together. But on the way, there was a thunder and rumble sound from the sky. You fool counsel, the eighth child of this lady that you are giving ride will kill you. Kamsa is such a demoniac. He forgot his affection. He became so, his demoniac, natural demoniac nature came out, and immediately gave up the rein and the whip. He pulled out his sword and grabbed the hair of this Devaki, his affectionate sister, and he was about to kill. So you know that, of course, he could not kill, that her husband pacified him with the idea that, look, she is not your enemy, but you are not even facing the enemy. You have to wait till eighth child takes birth. So it takes a time. I promise every child I'll bring to you. So then question comes, when Lord appeared in somebody's heart or in someone's life, do they have to go through like this? And answer is yes. Not exactly like Vasudev Devaki, but how you're going to prepare yourself to invite the Lord in your heart. I'm going to give you in 1-2 minutes because of the time. So they had a 3 birth. Why 3 birth? You want to take 3 more birth, or you want to finish this 1 birth? If you want to make your entrance to spiritual world by inviting the Lord in your heart in 1 birth, then you have to pay attention. 3 birth they took because their conception, purification was not completely done. 1 life, first birth they came as a Sutapa and Prishnigarbha. 2nd birth Aditi and Kashyapa. And 3rd birth is Vasudeva and Devaki. It is compared by our Acharya like a moon. It was not full moon. When it became full moon, Lord appeared. When it is half moon, Lord's incarnation. So Prishnigarbha is the incarnation. It is not Krishna. Vishnu is a partial incarnation of God. It's not complete. If you embrace Krishna now completely, then this will be your last life. But of course, through your Guru and Vaishnava, you embrace like this, not just on your own. And then, of course, there's so many explanation is given, like in 10.3.44, etadabam darshitam rupam praga janma shmarannayame nannatha madbhavam yenam martam ingena jayate. When Lord appeared, he appeared and not as a child, not as a baby. He appeared as a God. Why? Because they have a conception. They will have a doubt. If he doesn't appear as a God, they may think, oh no, is this baby just like a baby, or is he God? So to remove the doubt, Lord has said that I appeared as a God, not as an ordinary human child, so that you will believe that actually I am the God appeared. So ask yourself, what do you want to see? So this is very important. Now, this is very important. Prabhupada writes in 10.2.17 and 18 that how the God actually appeared in the heart of Vasudeva and then to Devaki. How? Through initiation, Diksha. If you have taken shelter of a Guru, then you are in a safer position, pure Guru. If you don't have initiation, you have no chance. It may take million life. But if you want the Lord to appear in your heart, in your life, then you must take shelter of a great devotee. It is necessary, compulsory. Prabhupada writes that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was transferred, I'm paraphrasing, from the core of Anakodondavi's mind or heart to the heart of Devaki. We should not, Prabhupada writes that we should note carefully that the Lord was transferred to Devaki, not by the ordinary way of human being, by sex, or they think that the child is born from the male body to female body. No, not like that. It's transformed by initiation. So the importance of initiation, Prabhupada writes, is very important. Unless you are initiated by right person who always carries within his heart. What does the right person means? He carries the Lord within his heart. One cannot acquire the power to carry the Supreme Godhead within the course of one's heart. So this is very important. The Devaki became, when Devaki got that initiation and the Lord entered in her heart, what is the first symptom? She became jubilant. When you got initiated, when you are progressing, are you happy? If you are not happy, your initiation is not acting. Connection, the seed is here, but it is not fructifying. It's not fertile ground like this. You have to examine, detect. So Devaki was happy. Devaki was so happy that she forgot all the miseries of 6 children died and 1 miscarriage. This is necessary. All the material, the initiation means when you serve, all the material plashogni, first thing is that it disappears. In order to do that, what tapasya did they do? That's the question. So I'm going to give you in 1 minute a narration. First thing they did, they removed all the 6 enemies we have. What are those? Lust, greed, anger, madness, illusion, and what's the last one? Envy. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Where is this from? Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 62. That until these 6 enemies goes away from your heart, there is no real manifestation of Guru. And how these 6 enemies will disappear? The problem is we are in love with the enemy. We love sex, we love the illusion, we love the material sense gratification. Then it is difficult. You have to act just like Arjuna. Arjuna saw the enemy, but without enmity. Without enmity feeling, you see the enemy. In order to kill the enemy, you have to see the enemy. How do you kill the enemy if you don't see the enemy? So Krishna says, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu ma manusmara juddha cha. You think of me, but juddha, you must fight. But to fight, you have to see the enemy. But then he says, no enmity. This is the art. It's an art that we Hare Krishna people learn. How to remove, engage the senses. Okay, I have urges. I have to engage that urges. My Lord, I'm not completely free. Please help me. Don't be hypocrite. Don't suffocate. Don't suppress your desire, sense enjoyment. Engage it. Utilize it. Don't be detached or attached. Be engaged in Krishna consciousness. This is very important. So they did. They engaged and they voluntarily let those affectionate children go, because they realized this is not, in order for God to come as the 8th child, they have to let go all 7. This is very important. So the next, that when 6 enemy gone, immediately your heart will feel jubilation. You will feel happy. Nobody has to tell you. You will feel happy. Means Guru's mercy, Sadhu's mercy, devotee's mercy is working. Be very careful. Criticizing Vaishnava is those enemies. What is it? They're Kangsha. Who is Kangsha? He represents the fear of material existence. Very important. Fear of material existence. Vaishnava Ninda, Srila Prabhupada even said that, he said in Bombay, he said, most of my disciples are not afraid enough of Maya. So we need to be, whether we are grand disciple or disciple, we must be afraid of Maya. This is very important. If we are not afraid of Maya, we flirt. Prabhupada said it like this. He said, most of my disciples are not afraid of Maya and they flirt. This is very important. We cannot just flirt with Maya. We have to help others always with Krishna consciousness. Then, when seventh child, Guru's mercy comes, then the Guru's mercy will purify your rest of the hearts. And then, who comes after? Krishna. Krishna appears in your heart. And this is a shorter version because I want to say, oh, it's already 8 or 7. Give me 5 minutes. I'll finish the Vrindavan appearance. It's beautiful, beautiful appearance. So from one angle, Vasudev Maharaj and the mother Devaki, they requested the Lord, okay, please become a human child so we can protect you. And we have to take you somewhere. So the Lord made it easy. Take me to Gokul and leave me there until I grow up, then I'll come. They say, okay, sure. They're very kind of a relief. They're afraid of Kamsa. How can you be afraid if you are in front of God? Because of their Vatsalya Ras. It is natural. It is not a fault. It is natural. But in Vrindavan, as I said, outside Vrindavan, they pray to God for protection. Inside Vrindavan, they pray God for protection for Nanda Maharaj's son. This is very funny. So in 10th Canto Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, I remember, 48 to 50, you can read it. It's beautifully explained that whenever Lord appear in this world, his eternal parents, they partial expansion called Drona and Dhara. They come and they exhibit. What's the difference with the other parents versus these parents? The difference is that these parents, when they come, in Brajavashi parents, they also do austerity, but in their asking, we can learn something. Now, I'm going to give you a very straightforward answer. I was afraid when I read Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada says, if you want to be the parents of God, then you may have to wait 4,320,000,000. Because next day, God already came this day of Brahma. He's not coming anymore. He's coming when? Next day of Brahma. You know what is that means? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not 4 billion. It's 8 billion. Because that's only 12 hours. 4,320,000,000 times 2. You have to wait. And then, yeah, of course, you have to do austerity for that long. And then there is chance that you can take that position as a parents. Or you can actually become a maid servant of Mother Yashoda. Prabhupada even put in the purport, one should meditate how Mother Yashoda dressed, what kind of dress. Everybody knows what is Mother Yashoda's dress? Color? Saffron color. What is her body figure? She's so attractive. She has a thin waist and beautiful body, thigh, and the upper portion, beautiful. Even the acharyas, this is so funny, great philosopher, they are like arguing with each other. Is Krishna beautiful because of Mother Yashoda? Or Yashoda is beautiful because of Krishna in her womb was there? What is the cause of their beauty? They both are so beautiful. This is beautiful. This is how your brain, intelligence should engage. And acharyas goes on and comment on this. So we must, Prabhupada said, we should meditate Mother Yashoda and serve. If you want to serve Krishna as a child, then you try to serve Mother Yashoda as a maid servant and take Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Krishna conscious Guru. And then end of this life, you can enter to Golok Vrindavan and release this Vatsalya Ras. You don't have to wait for 4,320,000,000 years. So we are Suvidhavadi, means advantage taker. We should be advantage taker. Now, when Vasudev Devaki, the whole pastime, how they came out. When Vasudev was coming out in Jamuna, his feeling was not as intense. I guess the Lord reciprocate. He always reciprocate. More you advance, you may be more apparently suffering, but it is not suffering. তোমার সেবায় দুঃখ হয় যত সেও পরম সুখ সেবা সুখ দুঃখ পরম সম্পদ নাশয়ে avidya duh. Those verses are like, you feel like to sing whole day about those verses, even though those are just a ordinary verse talking about the practice. But he says that those who are advancing, they are purba itihas bhulinu sakala seva sukha pe mane. We can forget everything about this world when we draw the happiness in serving Krishna. Our focus to serve Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. We should be always happy to serve. And in this enthusiasm, Prabhupada says enthusiasm is what? Is the life of faith. You have a faith? Well, see if you are enthusiastic. If you're not enthusiastic, something is wrong with your faith. Then you better be enthusiastic. They also ask Prabhupada, how do I become enthusiastic? Prabhupada said, just be enthusiastic. So sometimes we push each other. Just be enthusiastic. And we do. And we become joyful. And it is reality, practical. We can be happy like this. And then, so it says that Vasudeva Maharaj was carrying the child. Jamuna Devi says, wow, this is one time in my life, I have an opportunity. I was waiting for long years. I want to touch the feet of my master. So she rose big waves. As Josoda, as Vasudeva Maharaj was going in the middle, all of a sudden she made so many high waves. And the child, one Acharya gave a commentary, the child actually came off of Vasudeva Maharaj because Jamuna Devi wanted to embrace and give him a bath, Abhishek, bathing with the Jamuna water. And then of course Vasudeva, he was like a shock, heart attack type of, and then of course found, and then he picked up. And of course, same time in the material world, there is also demoniac nature. They also find out. You know when Prahlad Maharaj had an enemy born? Do you know when Prahlad Maharaj enemy was there? Hiranyakashipu was not an enemy. Hiranyakashipu became enemy when Prahlad Maharaj started speaking about God. When before he spoke, there was no enemy. So similarly, when Krishna appeared, all of a sudden the other enemy just took the form to eat that baby. Some other than the news when Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a hint. Other Acharya, what's his name, Mahanidhi Swami, was mentioning very nicely one time that he says when Vasudeva Maharaj actually crossed the river and came, so many jackal, fox, they are those big demons. They are like making a noise to eat that child. And of course, Vasudeva Maharaj was so scared. What to do? He's praying to God, oh, please protect my child. Then all of a sudden, a big lion roar. No, I'm okay. I was trying to make the noise of lion. I guess I'm not good at it. A big lion came from nowhere. Nobody knew there is a lion in Vrindavan, border of Mathura. You know who is that lion? It's Nishingadev. Nishingadev eternally reside in that border. So just to protect Krishna, of course, this is a Leela. He himself is Krishna. So like this, ultimately Vasudeva Maharaj brought him to there. That's wonderful. That when Nanda and Jashoda, they are talking about, bragging about, they are contemplating the idea of having child. Did they want a child? Did they want a son? Yes and no. They did not want a son, But the child that they were seeing in their dream, they wanted that child to become their son. So the whole, I'm just squeezing the story because of the time. It was so unique that once upon a time, Nanda Maharaj was emotionally depressed, but it's ecstasy because the child is so beautiful. His eyebrow, his face, his smile, his curly hair. He said, I wish I could just see him. I wish I could have that child. Every night I'm having dream. So one day he burst out. He got up, in the middle of the night, you get up on the bed and Mother Yashoda says, are you okay, my dear husband? He said, no. I want to tell you something. When you have a good spouse at night, you talk. Husband and wife, when they have some secret they need to talk, middle of the night they talk sometimes. Because Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya are doing the same thing. It's reflecting here. So Nanda Baba says, it's been going on for a long time. I know we don't have a child, but I really don't want a child, but I want this child. And then he started crying. As soon as he mentioned the child, he said, what happened? He's so attractive boy. He has a rain cloud color. Chandana charchita nila kale bara ita basana banamali. Jaidev Goswami, he explained what Nanda Maharaj was doing. That this is Nila Bashana Banamali. He's so beautiful, Nanda Baba says. When I look at just his nose, it's so uniquely shaped, like a sesame flower. It has a beautiful carved tip, and it's so attractive. I can stare at that nose forever. And Mother Yashoda is saying, tell me more about it. Then Nanda Maharaj says, I cannot say Nanda Baba because he's not Baba there. So Nanda Maharaj says, oh, his eyes, it's like a beautiful lotus petal. But it's not lotus petal. It's so attractive. It's changing. Benam kanantam arabindadalayataaksham. This aksha, kanantam means uninterruptedly, constantly, is blooming, like a blooming, beautiful, more beautiful. Wow. Nanda Baba says, I just stare at it. I just stare. I don't know what to say. His every part of his body, his ear, his cheeks, his forehead is so attractive. I never see someone is as beautiful as this. I wish God, who is endowed with inconceivable potency, could give me that child as my child. Mother Yashoda says, tell me more about it. Well, sometimes I try to see from different side, but there is a girl. Oh, there's a girl. What she's doing? She is like kind of like a golden, like a wing, and she's protecting this boy. And everywhere the boy is going, and she's like going around, so nobody see. And I'm just little bit like, I want to see why she's covering. Oh, tell me more about it. Then Nanda Baba went on and on and on. It's so beautiful. I feel like to just think about it for hours. It's so beautiful. You can chant and just think of Krishna's form. It's so beautiful. Mother Yashoda started crying. She got up. My dear husband, I have to tell you. I'm afraid to tell you all this time, all these months and years. It's the same boy coming in my heart. and he's showing his beautiful form. And I don't know how to express, because if I express to you, you may think I'm weird. Why you think of that child? But he's so beautiful. He stole my heart. I cannot think of any child. I want that child to come out as my child, as our child. What can we do? Let's do all the brata, all the austerity, whatever is there. We did that. What else is missing? Dadoshi brata. It's not Ekadashi, it's Dadoshi brata. There's this very significance in Kannamuni. Kannamuni's, I narrated one time one lecture about 2 hours. Beautiful Kannamuni story of Dadoshi brata and Mother Yashoda. Beautiful how he, so Mother Yashoda said, let's do ourselves. Kannamuni can explain. So they did. They did a beautiful Dadoshi brata. The day ended. Nanda Maharaj is thinking, I wonder, now we did this. Today is the final day. Something going to happen? Music. Why? A special dignitary just arrived in the court of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj says, who is this? The messenger says, his own, like a military. He's a Nanda Maharaj, because his father, they are Vaishya. How they become the king? King is for Kshatriya. How Nanda Maharaj is a Vaishya? How they? Because Maharaj Ugrasen, just for one sentence, there's a beautiful pastime that Ugrasen Maharaj, he was so happy. He's a Kshatriya. He's a descendant of Surasen. So Ugrasen always hear the citizen of Vrindavan that Prajanna Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj's father, so loving, so protecting. He's doing like a Kshatriya, affectionate like a father. Ugrasen says, I don't need to be the king there. Prajanna Maharaj should be the king. So he invited them and made a big festival. And you know how they make a king? By putting a Ras Tilak on the forehead. Like we have a tilak. Like what is this tilak? We have a God with us. Krishna is with us, Keshava. Keshava means Ka Isha. Ka means Brahmaji, Isha means Shiva, who is the Lord of Brahma, Shiva and everybody else. And Keshava also, the most attractive hair possessor. Krishna's hair is the most attractive, who gets bewildered by combing Radharani's hair. There's so many explanations of Keshava, the word. So here, beautifully Krishna is explaining, that the messenger came, that there is a dignitary came. She's so bright effulgence, we don't know what to say. Nanda Maharaj immediately came, folded hand, he smiled. So, that's how Prajanna Maharaj became king and his son, 5 sons. Now there is a question may rise, maybe I'll let this separate day. Because the oldest son is Upananda. How come he is not the king? Why Nanda Maharaj is a second? Okay, if we have time, we'll talk about it. But Nanda Maharaj became the king, and then he immediately came to welcome this Mataji. This Mataji has a beautiful, bright effulgence. Nanda Maharaj bowed down. Today is the final day of my Dadoshi Brata. This must be an auspicious sign. Who are you? She said, please, Nanda Baba says, please reveal to us. We want to welcome and wash your feet and give you garland and give all the offering and make you our very dear to the heart guest. Please. She said, my name is Tapashini. I'm a Daivagga, Yogini. So Nanda Maharaj understood. Daivagga means she knows past, present, future. He said, I know you have a problem that you want a child who comes in your mind and heart every night, and you want that child to come as your child. You know? Yes, I do. That's why I'm Daivagga. And people call me Purnamashi. I never married. I'm Brahmacharini too. But she's a grandmother of Madhumanga. Figure it out. So she said, I'm Brahmacharini. I have come here. Give me a place, a kutir. I'll stay here and never leave until the child take birth and play his pastimes. I will help you. Wow, wow, our life is complete success. Nanda Baba, and they throw a big party, festival, and they build a beautiful kutir for Purnamasi to live. That's how Purnamasi came. Of course. It's a long story how this child born. But that night, Mother Yashoda felt she got pregnancy. Not by physical contact, not like this. From the heart of Nanda Baba, that child transferred to Mother Yashoda's heart. Wonderful. Wonderful. Mother Yashoda started growing this child. But like this world, when the time of delivery came, all these millions of Brajavashi ladies, they come, and Mother Yashoda had a long, long labor. If you don't understand what labor is, because my first child, I gave the delivery. I mean, my wife, but I was the midwife because it was like so quick. The midwife came after my son Gopal was born. So but it was very quick. But Mother Yashoda's labor was so long that it was exhausting everybody. All of a sudden, everybody felt so tired. They said, we're going to go home, take shower and come back. So they all left, millions and millions of all these Mataji, they left. Mother Yashoda also fell asleep after long labor because they don't know when the child will come. Actually, this is how Krishna appears. He makes it like very interesting. In the meantime, Nanda Maharaj and his sister and his family, they are having conversation. Okay, Nanda Baba, if it is, of course, they didn't have those days machine to find out whether it's a boy or a girl. They said, if you have a son born, what gift are you going to give? Nanda Baba said, what gift do you want, my sister? He said, well, I want you to give the best gift because you want your son. So if your son appears, and I will give you the news because you are a man, you cannot go to the maternity house where the mother will give birth. I can go because I'm a girl. So I can run and bring the news very quick to you. It depends on how much, what kind of gift you give. It's like out of affection, private. Nanda Maharaj said, I'll give whatever you want. Tell me what you want. He said, I want the most precious gift. You think, what are you going to give? So they're having conversation. Everybody's having a conversation about this. Brahmana is saying, okay, as soon as the child born, we're going to start the Jagga. Whatever time it is, doesn't matter. We'll check the calendar. We'll start it. Everybody, whole Vrindavan is like saturated waiting. Some or other, that Tapasini lady Purnamasi put everybody sleep. Where Vasudev Maharaj came, according to Harivamsa, the Mother Yashoda already had a 2 child while she was sleeping. She didn't even know the child came out from her during her sleep. So Nanda Maharaj's son, Nanda Atmaja Utpanne, those verses are there. He heard the family that actually child was born, came out from Mother Yashoda. The evidence is there. And Atmaja means birth, the verbal root of that word. So took birth there. Oh my God, it's 8:30. Better finish. I'll just finish. Okay. Maybe I don't want to go anymore. Stick to this. So Mother Yashoda is lying down there. Then she had 1 son and 1 daughter, both born. When Vasudev Maharaj came there, Vasudev Maharaj did not see Nanda Maharaj's son. He saw only 1 girl, according to Harivamsa. So he exchanged with his son and took the girl and he came back. And after a few minutes, Krishna and Nanda Maharaj's son and Vasudev's son, what happened to them? They merged. And then they started crying so loud to get the breast milk. And Mother Yashoda woke up, oh, I have a child, I have a son. Didn't see the daughter taken by everybody started waking and everybody started running, coming from their house. And then the child is so attractive, Ashomurdha, beyond conception. But child is crying because he wants a breast milk. As soon Mother Yashoda gives the breast milk, he's happy. But Mother Yashoda wants to see his face. He's so beautiful. But as soon she pulls him out, he cries. So she put it back. So every few months, everybody wants to see. That's how the birthday began. And Nanda Maharaj started dancing. Everybody started big party. And in the morning, Nanda Maharaj has a beautiful festival. We'll discuss tomorrow. Nandotsav. Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sarvagata Vaishnava Binda ki jai. Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You already closed the Facebook. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. If anybody has a question, you can send me on the chat. I'll answer late because it's late. We have to get up for Mangalarti, everybody. So that's why. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.